needed to put this starter on. This looks awful fat compared to that one, thick-wise. Suzuki Eiger, a 2006 model, right here. I recommend you take the battery post off in doing this, but you only got this one wire coming to it, and it only works when you hit the starter button. But I gotta get in there and take them bolts out, but you can see all it does is click. This is an aftermarket starter. Just bought it off Amazon. I gotta get in behind that. Take them two bolts out. I put them on these Eigers before, but I can't remember exactly how. Anyways, I'll look around here. I took the side cover off, and I can get right to the bolts here. Now here's the only hot wire you got, but this motor's a little bit warm. We got a ground right here. Got that ground. This is your starter wire. It only shoots power to it when you hit your starter button. But I recommend take this off your battery. And I got a new air filter coming too. But I'll get down. I may have to use a wrench on this one. I think I can get a socket on it, but a wrench would work if I have to use a wrench. Now your starter wire actually takes a 10mm. Tell you. But it don't have no power on it unless you hit the starter button. So I'll show you. I thought I'd show you. If that had power on it, it would dark, but I recommend to disconnect one of your batteries, post, ground or hot, either one. But you can do this without doing that. But my recommendation is to, you know, just disconnect the battery post. So I'm going to take in the 8mm. Fits these two bolts right here, that one and that one. Don't forget you got a ground right there. I'm going to go ahead and take these off camera. But I actually got a check in here. You can actually put a ratchet on it, run it through into the exhaust pipe here. It'll go right on there. Okay, there we go. The other side will work too. Put it right on there. Yeah, it'll fit right in there just like that. So you gotta take your side cover off to get to that. And you should get them two bolts out. Should be able to just pry it out there a little bit with something. Hit on it maybe. I don't know. I may have to go over there. I get a little bit on that. On that other side, I'll go over there. Now you can come over here. Hit that starter maybe. But I think you need something to pry with. A screwdriver. Maybe get down in there. It's always a it's coming. See it rock there. Yeah. There we go. Just don't lose a lot of force and bust your transmission or your housing here. And it'll pop out there. Just well, don't just pry on one side. Pry here and there, because you're just jamming it up if you just pry on one side. But there it is. This other starter looks bigger, rounder. I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, you should be able to just grab it right here. I think I had to take the carburetor off of it. The other Eiger, I put it one on to get the starter on. Because it just, you know, carburetor's right here. But, there we go. It come out there that time. But, you can see there's the old starter. That is factory starter. Look at the difference in them. It turns, so it's not locked up. So I don't know what the deal is. I need to hang on to stuff like this so I can find me a repair shop, have it rebuilt. Anyways, look at the difference in the thickness of the barrel. You know what, see what I'm talking about? I think it'll work. Let me see if I can get it down in there. The worst I'm gonna take the carb off right there, make room. But I'm gonna try to get it down there without taking the carburetor off of it. I loosed the carburetor clamps, pushed it over. I believe I can get it in there now. Yeah. Slide it on in there. Need to kind of line it up a little bit. Try doing this and holding the camera too, you know. Hold on a second. I've got it in the hole, but it's hard for me to do anything holding the camera. There. What I gotta do now is get my bolts to line up. If them bolts line up, I'll be in good shape. So let me get my ratchet over here. Take and stick your screw in there like that. Hopefully it'll stay on there. Put it in the hole. You may have to move it a little bit. You know, twist it a little bit, line it up, but I'm gonna have to have both hands. Well, I was lucky enough that it set down in there, right? So, and I'm just hand tightening it. Take the front one. You can put a little grease right there if it keeps falling out, make it stick. But once you get it in there, it's a little bit touchy. Once you get it in that hole right there, there you go. Just you know, don't cross thread it. Yeah, I believe she's going. Alrighty, now just need to snug it up a little bit. Just don't torque one side down. Okay. Kind of, you know, offsets, you know, tighten that a little bit. Come back on this side, tighten it a little bit, because if you don't, you'll put your starter in an awkward position. And don't put a lot of strength on this, just snug them down. I mean, there probably is a torque spec on them, but you work on this stuff a while though, you get the feel of it. You know, you'll get the feel of it. You don't have to be Hercules or anything. Don't have to be no Einstein. This ain't a spaceship. Let's put you. Oh, you know what I forgot? The gram war. Got to put that on. That's no big deal. I'll fix that here in just a second. Got that gram war. Man, might be able to put a little ratchet in there too, you know. Probably. Wouldn't mind have that right there like that a little bit. I the war on, but I had to take this boat here back up and put this gram war on. But I'm just curious if it'll. Alrighty. Sure cranked. So I'm gonna put this starter or this gram war back on. Put this gram war back on and put my carburetor back in socket and I'll be done. I got this. The starter war on, put the gram war back where it went, that's tight. All I gotta do now is put my carburetor back. Right now, I'd like to get that rubber thing right there to slide back up here. Back over that. There we go. Does it work? Well, let's find out. I'll turn the key on. Yeah. It'll start. All I gotta do now is put my starter or my carburetor back on. I got the radiator put back on. I got my air filter, all that hooked up, but you can see it did start. Got to put the air filter on it. Well, we'll get on that in a little bit. Yeah, thanks for watching. Old Suzuki Eiger.